At home against the Ravens. According to ESPN Bet, Kansas City is the favorite to become the first team in history to win 3 straight Super Bowls, followed closely by the 49ers, who, of course, were there into overtime in the Super Bowl a year ago. And you see Baltimore is a step behind. So a fascinating game tonight. The sports geek in me needs to remind you that teams have won 3 straight NFL championships. It just hasn't happened in the Super Bowl era. That said, we look to tonight. The Ravens, new look? Maybe, because they've got Derrick Henry. What do we expect from him beginning tonight?
Heavy load. Someone trusted in that organization and that offensive football team outside of Lamar. I want to see Baltimore. Can you actually beat Kansas City? I know it's happened once. It hasn't happened 4 other times. And certainly it's going to matter more when and if it happens in the playoffs. But can you turn around and hand the football off to a guy and say, hey, Lamar has been the face of our organization, rightfully so, since the moment we've drafted him and he became our starting quarterback. But we can't get through Patrick. We can't get through the Chiefs. And I want to see, because this is a different football team in Baltimore. As much as I love Lamar and as much as their pass game developed last year, when it mattered the most and you had to go play against that football team in Kansas City, in many ways you choked. And I want to see, are you a different team? Have you evolved? Have you learned? Can you prove that we can go beat this Kansas City Chiefs football team? We're really good. We've been great in the regular season. And I know tonight is that. Right. They got to prove that they can go beat Patrick and this team more than once.
So people will look at the Baltimore Ravens in recent years, Harry, and say they're already a great running team. They've rushed the ball about as effectively as any team in the NFL since Lamar Jackson got there, and that isn't a coincidence. So how significant is the addition of Derrick Henry, who's got a huge name and a huge everything, but how significant is the addition?
So Dan brings up the word trust. I will bring up the word closer. Now, Lamar Jackson has something he's never had since being in the Baltimore Ravens uniform. Another closer outside of himself, a guy that he can rely on, take pressure off of his shoulders and also his legs when crunch time comes. Look at the last 4 of the last 5 years, Derrick Henry was either first or second in rushing yards in the NFL. The 1 year that he wasn't was hurt, 2021. Right? He only played 8 games, and he was still top 10. Yeah. So that tells you everything you need to know. And also, when you look at Derrick Henry from an individual standpoint, 2019, we've seen him literally take an offense to an AFC Championship game by himself. Yeah. I don't think you have many running backs in NFL history that can say they've been able to do that by themselves. That's what Derrick Henry provides. He's a leader. He's a guy you can count on, and he's going to do everything necessary to be able to help Lamar Jackson and also this Baltimore Ravens thrive.
And I look at Derrick Henry, he's defying the odds of, as a running back, as he's getting older, nobody like him. But also look at this Ravens offense. Mark Ingram was there years ago in 2019 when they had the big trust and they had the energy and everything was going around, and they still weren't able to get it done. So I love the addition of Derrick Henry. I think it makes a difference, but it's still going to fall on Lamar Jackson being able to make critical throws and crucial points of the game. So, yes, you have to run the ball. They've already showed that they can do that. It's still going to come down to being able to execute and him throwing the ball.
To me, Derrick Henry isn't the missing piece for their Super Bowl run. I think they had all the pieces they needed last year. I don't think the Chiefs beat the Ravens. The Ravens beat themselves in that AFC title game. Yeah. When I look at Lamar, you have a guy who is so dynamic, so talented, that he should be capable of winning a Super Bowl. Every year it's about, are you playing in February? That is how we measure him from now on, because he's just that good.
Dan, you've got tape. Lamar Jackson last year to this.
Yeah, so if you go back to the AFC Championship game last year, 3 plays that were negative result plays. They were just drop-back football. And I want to see if Baltimore can take those very similar situations and instead of just playing pitch and catch, try to implement some things with Derrick Henry. The zone reader, the RPO. You can hand the ball off to the tailback, or you can go a wide into like 3-man bubble, and it's a simple read for Lamar Jackson. Again, last year they played drop-back football in this situation. Bad result. You read that defender. It goes out, hand the ball to Derrick Henry. If he stays inside that box, we're kicking the ball to perimeter. Now we can go Zay Flowers in a jet sweep. We can hand it potentially off to him. Or we can pull our backside guard, and Lamar Jackson, the best running threat in the NFL, can become a downhill runner. Again, we're just reading that outside defender. If he flows with Zay, Lamar's the runner. If he stays inside that box, we kick the ball outside. Last year they played drop-back football. Not good. Derrick Henry, we can hand the ball off to him. Or we could have Lamar be that running threat again. Mark Andrews can be an arc release tight end. We're just going to read that singular defender. They didn't do this enough last year. If that defender goes out, we're going to give the ball to Lamar Jackson. If he stays in, Derrick Henry on the edge. And I want to see if Todd Monken, who I think is a fantastic offensive coordinator, evolves. I agree with Kimberley. Derrick Henry wasn't a necessity. This is a luxury. But I do think having someone that they trust to be a difference maker with the ball in his hands, because there's part of me, Harry, that says, all right, it's the AFC Championship game. We're going against Patrick Mahomes. We know Lamar. Just let Lamar do something. And I think now they have someone to go, well, we got someone just as good now.
Yeah.
And I think also the luxury of having Derrick Henry, you now are forcing the defense to bring that defender in the box.
Sure.
And to your point, J-Mac, when I look at the Kansas City defense, what's different in their secondary? L'Jarius Sneed is no longer there.
He's in Tennessee.
He's with the Tennessee Titans. So Joshua Williams is coming in to be a corner, and I want to see how he's going to fare up against Zay Flowers at the wide receiver position.
All right, so we have now managed to come 8 minutes into this hour, and we have not yet mentioned two words, Patrick or Mahomes. As we put the picks up on the screen tonight, let's talk about him. J-Mac, Mahomes coming in looking to rewrite history, looking to do something Tom Brady never did. We all understand what's at stake for him. They had a bad wide receiving core last year. They've added enormously to that. We won't see Hollywood Brown tonight, but we will see the rookie Xavier Worthy. What are we looking for from Patrick tonight?
I think to your point, we all talk about Lamar coming back and having something to prove. I think Patrick Mahomes has just as much to prove because there's an expectation of him in this offense. And if I'm Mahomes, I want so badly to be the quarterback to win 3 of them in a row for the Kansas City Chiefs. And now you're going against the Baltimore Ravens, and you're looking at this opportunity as we put our picks up there, and there's a ton of Chiefs logos on that thing. Because I look at this, and the Chiefs are a team that they're saying, you know what? Everybody's talking about us doing the 3-peat. We want to go out there and prove people right and show that we can actually get this thing done.
VO, voiceovers of every quarterback in the NFL. There's never been one like that, right? In every single game, Patrick Mahomes, can we roll that again, Cindy? There's no quarterback I've ever seen who can make any of these plays.
Yeah, I mean, that's a no-looker for 15 yards. This is behind the back, which is, I mean, disrespectful and
kidding.
Stupid. That's lefty on Monday Night Football. There's another lefty. He's remarkable. He's the best player that I've ever seen. I've said that. When he threw the game winner last year in the Super Bowl, I was doing the call with Chris Fowler and Louis Riddick, and I said, he's the best player I've ever seen. I do think this. He's not stupid. He knows he didn't play well last year. Now, maybe not all his fault because of the drops and the penalties. He knows he didn't play well. He knows this football team offensively did not perform up to their standards. You don't think that there's a chip on this guy's shoulder to be like, no.
Yeah, he's already said it. Like,
I'm going to come out guns a-blazing because of the way that – I don't care if we won the Super Bowl. Yeah. And I think it's unique because, J-Mac, you could probably speak to it a little bit better than maybe – and Harry as well, certainly I. It's rare that organizations get to make NFL history. Players at times do. It's rare organizations do.
And it's so different when they know what they're doing. The year I was with the New England Patriots, we beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. We come back and we have now our Super Bowl meeting where you're getting ready. The Super Bowl meeting was 10 minutes because they stood up there and they said, most of the guys in this room, you've gone through that. For the new guys, if you have any questions, come ask after the meeting. There's a certain standard and expectation of you know what it's like to be in that position.
Who was the coach of that team again?
Bill Belichick.
Okay. Bill Belichick is on Instagram, people.
He's on InstaFace.
We have our first huge upset of the season. Bill Belichick is on Instagram. Listen to this.
I do believe there's you have an announcement to make. A lot of announcements, okay? This one is a big one. I do believe, if I am hearing what I think you're about to say correctly. Bill, any announcement for the people?
You know, Pat, I can't really believe I'm doing this, but I've joined InstaFace.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's on InstaFace.
Yes.
He's on InstaFace.
He's amazing.
I mean, you're going to follow him, though, right? We're all going to follow Belichick.
Yeah, he's following me.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, I need to see if he's following. That's going to be like the ultimate flex.
I'm joking, Greedy. He's not following.
Jason's like, wait a minute now. Does he follow me?
He doesn't. I'm not following him until he follows me.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Yeah. Bill, how about a back and forth? By the way, like Jeff Darlington, I think, spoke for a segment of the population when he posted this yesterday. I think it's good. I never thought I'd say this, but I can't wait for Belichick to get his next head coaching gig so he can delete his Instagram and get grumpy again. This whole media nice guy act is freaking me out. You played for him a little bit. What is it freaking you out?
It is. I can't believe he's on social media. He was standing at meeting.
Yeah, do the impersonation.
I mean, can we just get the bleep off InstaFace and Snapgram? And he knew all the names of them because now he's joining it. And he can't have a picture with a suit and tie on. It's Instagram. That's where Bill has to let loose. Put a tank top or something on, show the chest and all of that.
How about the hoodie with the sleeves cut off or something like that?
Go Bill B, go Bill B.
Bill Belichick is on Instagram.